Hello my fellow crafters, welcome back to my channel. My name is David and today I'm going to be working on prompt 9 already. Can you believe it? 9th of December. It's going so quickly. So that's what we're going to do today. The prompt for today is Winterflower. So I happen to have a stamp called Winterflower. So that's what we're going to use. So let's switch the cameras around so we can have a look. This is my little journal. These are some pages I've already done, but we're going to work on 9 and that is going to be right there. So what I have here is a piece of the beautiful paper pack from Angelica. Now, the Joyous Christmas, nearly forgot the name, the Joyous Christmas pack. Now, this is a piece of uncoated paper. It's not watercolor paper, it's just normal plain paper. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to stamp on this, heat emboss on this, and I'm going to watercolor on this. So it's going to be fun. This is the stamp I'm going to use. It's the Winterflower stamp. But first things first, I want to stamp this and heat emboss it. So let's get the stamp off, get a block. I've got a big block for that. And I'm going to stamp it. I want to keep it all in the cool tones, like the bluish tones. So let me get my ink. I'm going to use Twilight for that. I'm going to put a good amount of ink on there. So this is going to be quite a simple day. Quite a relaxing day because I like coloring in. So good amount of ink on there. And I'm going to do that right in the middle, sort of. There we go. And give that ink some time to sink in. Give it some even pressure. I could have done this in my stamping platform, but this should work. That is a beautiful stamp. You see that? So next I'm going to take my clear embossing powder. You see how beautiful that blue is with the paper. There we go, all nicely covered. Missed one little tiny little bit there. There we go. So I'm going to melt that off camera and then I'll be back. There we go. Beautiful. I love this stamp. I really, really do. So that can go to the side. Don't need that anymore. Next I'm going to color. Simple as that for now, because I'm going to do some more in a bit. But so this is the Elizabeth Craft Designs watercolor paint. I love this stuff. I've used it many, many times. This is just a color swatch that I did myself. And I'm going to use this blue first. Put some on there. Take a piece of paper in my hand, because if it's too wet, I can use that to take it off. But let's start coloring this in. So, you see that's beautiful. Next I'm coming in with the darker blue. It's this one. Take the majority off, and I'm just going to flick some of that darker blue in here. And it's quite wet still, but I don't mind that. It's pooling a bit, but I just want a hint of that darker color in the center. And that will dry. Beautiful. Going to take a bit of this yellow. It's a very bright yellow, but on this paper I will use a thin layer. So there we go. So that's the flower. For the leaves, I want to use this sort of vintagey green. So let's activate that. Make sure you use enough water. There we go. It's watercolor paint, so you really need to work it with water. Once it's going, it's fine. So let's do the big leaf here. So I'm just going to color that in. Using that color. And then I'm going to take this darker brown, green, not brown, it's more of an olive green. And I'm going to use that to darken some bits and bobs up. So that's the idea. That's how I'm going to do the coloring on this card. The matte layer, I should say. So I will continue doing that, and then I'll be back for the rest. So now I'm doing the final bits, and that is putting the yellow in the centers. I just think this already looks really pretty. Let me give you a close-up. You see that? Got the shine of the embossing powder, and so this needs to dry now. So what I'm doing now is I'm just gonna dab off all the excess, and that sort of gives it more of a washed out look. That's what I like. But take a clean piece of your paper when you do that. I don't mind a bit of transfer there, but this just pushes it back a bit and gives it more of a softer look. You see that? So I'm perfectly happy with this. So I'm going to put my watercolors to the side and give this a blast with the heat tool just to make sure it's nicely dried before I do the next things. Nice and dry. Next I'm coming in with the same color, Twilight, that I used to stamp on a Lavinia brush. And I need a scrap piece of paper. It's just a piece of copier paper that I'm using for that. Take off the majority. And then I'm just going to come in from the sides and darken the edges. Now obviously this is quite a potent ink, so that's why I'm doing it on the paper first, dabbing it off, and then start on the paper to create that blend towards the inside. So I want that to be soft, but there. See? You still see that lovely texture from the paper back. The Joyous Christmas paper in the background. Just one more round, but I'm not coming in as far, you see? Just to darken that up. There we go. Same here. There we go. That's really putting sort of a highlight in the center. Next I'm taking just a clean piece of kitchen towel and just rubbing over my piece of paper, taking off any excess from that embossing powder, and there we have it. So yeah, I'm really liking this, but I'm not done yet. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to come in with my frayed burlap. No, I'm not going to use frayed burlap. I'm changing my mind. I'm coming in with scorched timber, really dark, and color that edge with that. Next I'm going to use a white gel pen I'm going to go around and just make the stitch line that's in the die. I'm making that more visible just by making white stripies here. There we go. That's quite nice. And next one I'm going to do, I'm going to do some splattering. Yes. So I've got my white splatter brush here, and what I'm using for that is this stuff. It's the Bleed Proof White by Dr. P.H. Martins. I just think that's the best one, to be honest. I'm just picking some up. And I'm going to make tiny little splatters. The more water you add to it, the more liquid it gets, the more intense, bigger the droplets will be, but I want these tiny ones. You see that? And because it's bleed proof, it will not take on the color of the watercolor, which I love as well. So yeah, I think this is pretty nice. So one thing I need is a number. It's December 9, so I'm going to ink around this, using my frayed burlap for that. And that's going to go, I think, over here on the page. Yep. So let's do that. And I need a phrase to go with that. I like that one. It's cold outside. It sort of brings back the brownish tone from that. So there's no set plan for this. I'm just going with what I see, and I think, oh, that matches. Then, so this is from the Christmas phrases that came with a die. It's a fun set. So I'm just going to ink up the edges. There we go. I'm going to put that over here to balance out the 9 at the top. And there it is. My Winterflower is done. So let me get my book out. That's going to go there. But first I need to ink the edges of this one. There we go. So the 9th is going to go there. Lovely. Lovely. And there we go. Prompt 9, done. So that was it for today, guys. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. That will help the YouTube algorithm to find other people. Leave a comment, that always helps as well. And if you haven't done so yet, if you stick to me by me this far, subscribe to my channel for more fun videos like this. Thank you for joining me, and if you are still in it in December to remember, well done, hang in there. We're nearly halfway. So have fun, have a good one, and thank you for joining me today. Bye!